recording. And then that way, as people jump in or whatever, I'll have it. So if they missed a little bit of it, it's not a problem. So just to introduce myself, my name is Jackie Durbin. I am originally from Kentucky. Hey, I'm originally from Kentucky, Louisville to be exact. If you're from that area, you know it's Louisville. You have to sound like you have something in your throat. It's not Louisville. It's not Louisville. It's Louisville. Down at the bottom, you'll see my handle. That's my Instagram handle. So if we're not already connected through Instagram, if you want to go ahead and write that down and make sure you're following me, I do reels and post all the time about using kvCORE and ways that it can help you with lead gen. So if you need like different things, you can usually find it in there.
By 1:45. Okay. I told you I have to pick up.
And then if you're not muted, if you'll go ahead and mute, please. All right. So just to give you a little bit of back information about me, I was not originally in real estate. I was actually, I started out as a teacher. So in 2005, I graduated from Bellarmine University. It's a private university in Louisville with my master's in teaching, which is my background, which is why I love teaching about kvCORE, just because it kind of reminds me of being in the classroom. You all are just not hormonal teenagers. You're, you know,
you have to be the right adults. People anyways, regardless of.
And then in 2018, if you're not muted, if you'll go ahead and mute yourself. I think I can mute everybody. Maybe I can't. All right. So in 2018, I got my license for selling real estate in Kentucky. I was so excited because I was going to join my husband. Guys, if you're not muted, please mute yourself. So anyhow, I got my license in May of 2018 in Kentucky. And then in July, my husband and I decided that we were going to move our whole family to Arizona because that's where his family is from. And so I am licensed in both states, but I never sold a house in Kentucky at all. I refer stuff, but never did that. So in 2019, I got my license here. Last year was a big year for us. I published my first book, which was kind of exciting. I'm a mom of 4. And my youngest child has autism. And so what I found was there's kind of like that stigmatism of like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one. And so anyhow, I published a book, and then I also closed my classroom for the very last time and joined my husband in real estate. Yeah. So that's just a little bit about me. So that way I'm not a stranger. I love iced coffee. It's my favorite thing. Yes. And so this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to talk about squeeze pages. Why should you use them? Hang on. I'm going to try to find who's still talking, who's not muted.
That would be Norma.
Norma, you got to mute. There you go. Thank you. Okay. So squeeze pages, why should you use them? How can they help you? And then also don't be basic with your squeeze pages. And I'll go into why and what that looks like. Also creating a listing presentation. If you are new in real estate, going to a listing presentation, you have no idea what to bring, and it can be stressful. kvCORE has some different things that you can use to bring with you on a listing presentation, but also it's some information that you could send to a prospect. Maybe it's a FSBO lead that you want to follow up with. Maybe it's someone in your sphere who has kind of reached out that they'd like to know a home valuation. It's something that you can present to them, and kvCORE brands it to your name. They add your picture. So basically all you do is click, 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 and then it's created. And then also the last thing I'm going to try to get in this hour is the importance of hashtags when creating people within your CRM. And then also how that can affect your database, how you can change them. And then last is what is a campaign and how can you create one? So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to pause sharing my screen. Hang on. And pull up my other, I'm going to pull up my kvCORE. All right. Okay. So obviously you've been on kvCORE, so you've seen that a little bit, but basically when you go into kvCORE, you're going to go into your major dashboard. So your dashboard's where everything is. Right now it tells me that I have 5 phone calls today that I may or may not have done yet. So got to get that done. It's also going to tell you any tasks that you need to do. There's lots of stuff on this page. So first thing we're going to talk about is actually how to create a squeeze page. So on your kvCORE, if you go down to your lead engine tools, which is the one that kind of has like, I call it the hand that's missing a thumb and a pinky. And you click on that lead engine tools, that's where you're going to see the squeeze pages. Okay. So there's lots of stuff on this sheet, but the thing that we're going to talk about is this Idx Squeeze Page. So when you click on it, it's going to say, what's the domain? Well, the domain is your EXP website. So you're going to click on that, and then you're going to click Start Building. Now, when you get to this page, you're going to see that there's 4 different options, and we're going to talk about each one, and I'm going to show you how to use each one of them. So the first one is a multi-property. Now, when we first moved to Arizona, we had 0 sphere of influence. We knew no one except like my in-laws and my one sister. So we were starting from scratch. And one of the things that we found out was that a non-HOA was a huge niche. Lots and lots of people wanted to be in a neighborhood where they didn't have to pay an HOA fee, or maybe they wanted to be on a county island. So that was a way that we could create a multi-listing property squeeze page, and lots of people were getting in. Now, I have people on our team all the time that they're like, I did a squeeze page and nobody clicked on it. I'm like, okay, what was the squeeze page? Well, it was 4-bedroom, 2-bath homes in Chandler, Arizona. I'm like, yeah, because that's basic. Don't be basic. Figure out what's going to get someone's attention, because no one goes on Facebook to buy a house. They don't. They go on there because they want to see something that's different. They want to see a multi-million-dollar house. They want to see what does $1 million buy me? What does a horse property look like? So you kind of have to find those diamonds in a rough. Now, the nice thing is, when you build the squeeze, it doesn't have to be your listings. It's any EXP listing. So for example, I'm going to do my search criteria to Chandler, Arizona. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to do Scottsdale. So it go ahead and it populates the city. Make sure that you're picking the city and not like a certain area, just because your search is going to be limited. Listing types. You can find ones that have backup offers. You can find commercials, condos, contingents, lands, anything like that. What I usually use is just like a regular single family. The style is just going to be like the architectural style. I usually leave that empty, because what I don't want is to be so specific that people can't find what they're looking for. And I'm going to put the price range $2 million with no max. Okay. The reason why I'm building this page is because I know people are going to click on this, because not everybody can afford a $2 million house, but everyone would love to see what the inside of one looks like. I'm not going to put any type of square footage because I want to have a large search. You can also put in options if it was just listed, if it was a newly built. Again, the more you put in, the smaller your database is going to be as far as what homes they can see. If you look over here, your page figuration, so you can put these on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is kind of a low-hanging fruit. Lots of people go there to find rentals. So you're going to get a lot of people who are not able to purchase right now. But if that is your niche, maybe you have a passion for helping people get out of the renter and getting into a purchase, this would be a good thing for you. Obviously, those people are not looking for $2 million houses, but remember, the goal of a squeeze page is to get more people into your CRM. So it's increasing that pipeline. You want your pipeline huge. Hashtags. Hashtags are super important. It's basically the way that it files all of the people who come into your CRM. So you want to have something that's going to help you. So this could be luxury, because these are going to be people who actually search for a luxury home. They may not be looking for a luxury. And with hashtags, you can change those out. So that's the way I'm going to organize these. When they come into my CRM, when they click on it, it's going to group everyone who touched that squeeze page into this group. I don't have to worry about a Facebook cover photo because kvCORE actually creates it for us. Now, this next thing, it says property views allowed. Now, if you've ever been on Facebook and you've seen where people have like those squeeze type pages, you click on it and usually it immediately asks for your information. I do not ask for it to come immediate. And the reason why is because I don't just want anybody. I want people who are actually looking. So if it's one property and let's say the wife sees it, okay, the wife's like, oh my gosh, we're looking for a house. Look at this beautiful house. Well, she's not going to go buy a house without also talking to her husband, which means she's going to show that to her husband. So if it's one property, it's going to take two people viewing it or her viewing it twice for it to say, hey, I want your information. You can change it to 3. You can change it to 5. You can say never. Now, why would I use never? If you have different Facebook groups in your neighborhood, maybe it's in your neighborhood, maybe it's in your city. Those are usually run by real estate agents. And the reason why is because they're trying to increase their pipeline and their sphere and their number of prospects. Some of them say you can market any of your stuff, but it can't be lead capturing. So if they have that rule, that's how you can show your information. They're still going to be able to get to your website. If they want to register, they can, but it's not going to actually capture their information. So it defaults to 2, and that's where I like to keep it. Now, I'm going to click the green button that says generate the link. Now it's going to give me, oh, why didn't it choose Scottsdale? Sorry. There it goes. All right. So now I'm going to hit the generate the link, and it gives me 2 links. It gives me a long one and it gives me a short one. If I click this little 2, I call it 2 papers stacked up. If I click that, it's going to copy that link. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a new page and I'm going to paste it in. And the reason why is because I want to see what they're going to see before I put it out there. If I have a real broad, like if I put a whole lot of stuff on there, it's going to have maybe only 1 or 2. So I don't want that. So when I go to this, I see everything that they're going to see. There's 152 properties. So maybe I do want to cut my thing short because someone is not going to want to go through all 152 of these. Okay. So maybe I want to change things up and then create a new link. So basically when they go in, they're going to have all this information. So what do I do with that link? I'm going to go to Facebook now that I've seen what I have. I'm going to go to my actual page. And I'm going to say, have you always wanted to know what luxury Scottsdale, Arizona, whoops. Use the link below to view the current homes for sale over $1 million. Now I'm going to copy that link, paste it in there, and it's going to auto-populate a Facebook cover photo. So I don't have to put any of the pictures in there. Okay. I see that it's going to take them to my actual website, my CRM. These are homes that are in Scottsdale. Now, what I'm going to do is once that populates, I'm going to go ahead and take that link out because I want it to look nice. Okay. Then I hit post. Now my squeeze page has been published. Okay. So let's look back at kvCORE and see some other, whoops. My goodness, this little thing's in my way. There we go. Okay. So that's how you do a multi-property. Now, single property. Obviously, it's going to be one house, right? So we use single properties when we're trying to boost our new listing. Now, obviously, right now, we all know the market is crazy, right? You really could just like put a tent in the middle of a parking lot, put for sale, and it's going to sell, right? Because there's not enough houses for the demand. But it's also a good way for people to see what you're selling. So it's the exact same thing as a multi-property. There's just fewer choices. So on this one, for a single property, you can either enter the listing ID. So that would be the MLS ID or the address. Okay. So this is when you're going to have like a specific property in mind. Maybe there's a historical home. Okay. And you just, you were driving by the city, you saw it. It's like a diamond in a rough. It would be something great. Maybe you deal a lot with investors and you just found a great property that would be wonderful for one of your investors. So you can put that on there. You know your niche and you know who the people are. Again, you're going to do a hashtag appropriate for that single property. Now, since it's a single property, obviously you could ask immediately, you want their information. But again, I always do too, because even if it's a single property, they're going to look at it more than once. It's not like we get on MLS, we find one house, we look at it one time, and then we go write a contract. You're going to generate the link the exact same way. You're going to create the page and the post the exact same way. So the only difference is this is maybe you have a specific property in mind. Otherwise, I use multi-properties. Now, a seller squeeze. A seller squeeze is going to be for people who obviously you want to sell their house. Like you want to know, hey, this is what you need to go ahead and sell your house to me. Let me do it. So basically what it's going to give them is an instant market report. It's going to be better than the Z estimate. Zillow, if you're listening, yes, I love you. You're a wonderful brokerage. I did not speak badly about you, but it's more accurate. So this is going to give them what's a practical price for me. I try to do these once a week for different areas. And the reason why is because listings are gold. And would I rather spend 7 months writing 242 offers for a buyer, or do I want to get some listings? So I want to make sure that I'm doing these both. So when you create a seller squeeze, you're going to add a hashtag. So I'm going to do Gilbert. Gilbert's another city that's in our area. Oh, put that in the wrong spot. And then I'm going to choose Gilbert as my location. You can pick any location you want. Then I'm going to go ahead and generate the link. I'm going to copy that shortened link. I'm going to go up here in my toolbar and I want to see what this is going to look like from someone who clicks on it. So this is what they're going to see when they click on it. It's going to say, do you want to get your home value? They're going to add their address. Then they're going to get their estimated value. So when I take this and I go on to Facebook, I can say, are you curious what your home is worth? Use the link below, get a CMA. And then I'm going to say what that is, because people who aren't real estate agents may not know what a CMA is. I'm going to add that link in there. And then this is the cover photo that they say. Okay. Now it tells them the average price in Gilbert is $786,000. They may not know that. They may be going, oh my gosh, really? I didn't know it was that high. I wonder what my house is worth. Okay. So the nice thing is kvCORE puts these like different questions on here to really get people's attention. So I'm going to delete the link, but keep the picture. And then I'm going to hit post. So now that's on there. So now we've gone over 2 of the different ways. Now a market report is pretty much the same thing. It's going to tell them though what's going on in their specific area. I like to do these for neighborhoods. So we actually run a neighborhood group, and my husband and I usually about once a month, we put these on here just to let the people in the neighborhood know what's the market doing right now in this specific neighborhood. So what can they expect? Like if they actually listed a house, are prices still going up? If they are going up, how much are they going up? So it really kind of allows them to know what we know. All right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, sorry, I've got all my stuff on here. Okay. Now we're going to talk about marketing. Does anybody call for sale by owners?
Recording in progress.
Sorry about that. My internet doesn't like me. All right. It's still recording. Okay. So while I'm getting this back up here, who calls for sale by owners? Anybody? Anybody make it a point to call in FSBOs?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. So we have quite a few people on our team, and every single week we have our title rep. She sends us a list of all the for sale by owners, all the new ones that are up, and we call them all the time. And a lot of times the owners will actually allow the agent to come in and preview the property, right?
So they're like, oh, you're going to bring me a buyer, bring me a buyer, bring me a buyer. Well, after they've actually let you in the house, what do you do? Anybody want to share? Like, what do you do if they actually let you back in the house? Remember,
I try to get the listing.
Right, exactly. Yes, you want the dang listing. All right. So a lot of people call for sale by owners, or maybe they avoid calling for sale by owners because they're probably not going to be the nicest person, because there's a reason they didn't list with a real estate agent. Okay. Maybe they're down and out and they need all the equity in their house and they don't understand that commissions are negotiable. Maybe they have used a real estate agent before and they got burned and they think we're all assholes. Okay. Or maybe they think they're smarter than us. Like, really, you're a real estate agent. Come on. It's not rocket science. Okay. So how do you get back in touch with that for sale by owner? Because 90% of for sale by owners will list with an agent. They're not going to sell it on their own. Okay. And I don't know in every state, but in Arizona, we are not an attorney state. We're a title state. So we don't have attorneys at our closings. We use title escrow officers. And so when they're going to sell their house for sale by owner, they're going to be using a title escrow officer to draft the documents, make sure there's no clouds on the title, transfer the title of ownership, determine how it should be written, all that kind of stuff. But they're not their real estate agent. And so all they're doing is paperwork. So one of the things that I always bring whenever I have a for sale by owner, and you can probably reach out to your title company if you are a title state. If you're an attorney state, I'm not sure, maybe ask somebody. But what I get is a list of, hey, you're selling your home for sale by owner. This is what you can expect. And it just lists out, hey, these are the things you're going to have to do. This is what the laws are for selling real estate in your state. These are things that I know because I'm an expert and you don't know. So you want to always, whenever you're going to a FSBO, have something to bring with them. Now, this was something that I found very, very effective. So if you go into marketing tools, it's called Core Present. So you go into Core Present, and what it's going to do is it's going to help you either win the listing, win the offer, present information, or to do a buyer tour. I use these to win the listings. Okay. This is also what I create for my listing presentations. So to create a listing, you just say, create the listing. You type in the address. And I'm going to have to find like an address that I can actually use that I haven't used before, because I've done this so much. Anybody live in Arizona and want to give me an address? Because I think it's only going to pull up my MLS. Let me pull one up. Hang on. Pause, please. Let's see. Let's look for Queen Creek. All right, so I'm going to pull up this address. Hang on, it's not doing it. Okay. So we're going to do 150 North Lakeview Boulevard. Chandler, Arizona. Okay, let's hit next. Okay, then it's going to ask you to confirm the information. So is it a single family? How many bedrooms? If you know the bedroom count, you can go ahead and add that in there. It usually says, what would be a -1 bedroom? I don't know what that would be, like a tent. It's going to tell you what year it was built. It's going to tell you the living space. Oh, this is not right then. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and do it. And then it's going to say skip to the presentation. When it skips to the presentation, there's going to be some stuff that's already populated automatically, but you can take away things and put things together. So like I told you, this is going to be branded. So it's going to have all of your legal things that you have to have on there. It's also going to say who it was prepared by. Yes, my name is Jackie, but my parents are Catholic, so Mary had to be in the name. That's why it says Mary. So there's all these different sections. There's 6 different ones. The first one's going to say, like, why am I the right fit? So you see that it's got this, like, what are the values of having an agent? This would be great to actually bring to a for sale by owner. A lot of for sale by owners, they don't understand what an iBuyer is and how that can affect what they can get on a home. So there's a little thing that I can click on and include that. It's also the home selling process. So what does that look? I just click on them and add those slides now. The next section is what's my home worth? This is what everybody wants to know. So it can tell you what has, what's pending, what's actually closed, what's active, what's the highest sold recently. And if I click on add slide, I can pull up other information. So these are about misconceptions, because they add all of these other people that we know about, but because they're brokerages, I don't want to get into a position where I could possibly put my license in jeopardy. So I do not talk about Zillow or Realtor or Trulia or Redfin. I don't talk about any of them. But I might add this one, where do buyers get their information? So how does listing with an agent help you get more buyers? All right, the next one is market analysis. This one's my favorite. So this talks about the importance of pricing, because what every single seller sees right now is that houses are going for crazy astronomical amounts of price. So you go into a house that, let's say, it's probably worth, it would appraise for about 400,000. Okay. But a buyer says, well, Bill down the road just sold his though for 525. Mine's nicer. I want to list mine for 530. Understanding pricing is really important, because you don't want to price yourself too high. Can you get 525? Probably. But if we list it at that, we're going to lose out on all of the people who are looking at your actual value of your home. Another thing that it does is it talks about what is the actual list price? How many times or how many days will you expect to be on the market? I always tell them this is an expectation. Could we sell it in the first day? Yes. Could it be 30 days? Yes. And then what's the average price per square foot? How much of a change in price have we seen in this area? What does the market look like? Well, obviously nothing is stale right now. Everything is fresh. You can also add other slides in here. So this one talks about time frame. Like people always say, oh, you know, the first offer was only, you know, 20,000 over. I think we can get 30,000 or 40,000 over. They need to understand that as time goes on, the likelihood of you being so much higher, those are the first offer you see should be the best offer. Okay. So that's a way to add that in. And then also factors to influence. So you pick whatever slides you want. This is the marketing and the buyer thing. This is a way for you to kind of showcase what you do as a listing agent. And then the next steps. So the next steps is basically just a thank you. EXP, because all of your stuff is in kvCORE, it's automatically going to come up there. So this is my actual phone number. That is my email. That is my website. And then what they do, these are both hyperlinks. So the one thing is, okay, let's get started, or I need more time. So I'm not ready to sell yet. When you get all the way down to the finish line, let me move this out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and I want to see this as a PDF. So this is going to be everything. It's just going to kind of look, you know, like paper. If I want to send this as a link, or maybe I'm going to send this as a, like as a web, that way it has hyperlinks, I can do that. So now I'm going to hit present and share. If I want to add a video, let's say I have a video of me actually like putting my sign in the yard, you know, showing snippets of an open house, or, you know, my buyer's signing, or someone holding the sold sign, or whatever, I can do that. I can also add an email if I want to. I can add other links, but I'm just going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go up here in my search bar. And I'm going to paste it in here. Now, how would I use this? I would send this in an email to any FSBO I visited, because I want to show them, one, I'm damn good at my job, and two, I'm a professional. So when they open this up, this is what they're going to see. They're going to see that this was prepared specifically for their property. Okay. And it was presented and prepared by me. When it goes to the next page, it's going to say all of those things that I have on here. Now, if I'm super tech savvy, what I would do is I would screen record and include audio that would go along with this presentation. That way they're not looking at it blindly because they may not understand things that are on there. It's going to talk about every single slide that I put in here. So if I screen record, then now I get to kind of change the lens that they're looking through. Everything's on here.
How do you get to that market assessment page? That, because I can't find it on mine. I'm trying to follow along while you're doing it, and I can't find that one that gives
no worries.
The price.
No worries. Okay, so when you go into kvCORE, you are going to click on the little, it looks like a paper airplane, and click all marketing. And then it'll come to marketing tools, and the core present is right here. It's the very first one.
Yeah, no, I'm there and I'm in it. Oh. I'm talking about that one slide that has the price. My slides don't have a price.
It may have been one that I specifically picked. So let me go back. All right, we're going to go back into core present.
So it should be under what's my home worth, correct?
Yes. So let me go into this one.
And I think this is why I've never used this before, because I've seen this demonstrated and I couldn't find a price. I'm like, well, what use is this? It doesn't give you an amount.
You have to add the slide. So yeah, like when you go to marketing, it'll say add a slide. So like when you go in here and it says, what's my home worth?
Yeah.
Go down and click the green button that says add a slide.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not add the slide. It's not on that one. It's on the market analysis one.
Oh.
So it's the add the slide on that one.
Oh, okay. There it is. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad I was able
to help. Why did I not find the price? Appreciate it.
So one of the things that I do, so I do send these out to FSBOs. I also I'll go around when I door knock, and yes, I door knock. I know a lot of people don't like door knocking. It makes them anxious. There's an introvert, there's an extrovert, and the thing that's more than an extrovert, that's me. I have zero problem meeting people. I don't have problem talking to people. I love making new friends. That's just my personality. So door knocking is super easy for me. So what I do is I pick a neighborhood. It's usually the neighborhood we live in because we like to farm. Yes, we're from Kentucky, but we like to farm. So I'll go through and I'll just knock on the door and be like, hey, you know what? I'm your neighbor. It's nice to meet you. How are you doing? Good. Okay, awesome. I'm also a real estate agent. Oh, we're not selling our house. I know you're not selling your house because if you were, my sign, my face would already be in your yard, right? Okay, on a sign. No. What I wanted to do is I wanted to take some of my time and some of my expertise and create a market analysis specifically for you. Can I email that over to you? Oh, you're going to give me something free? Yeah, it takes me about, I don't know, maybe a half an hour to an hour. Does it really take me that long? No. But when they see this, they're going to think it took me that long. Yeah, it usually takes me about an hour. But hey, you know what? If you'd like me to send it over to you, and then if you have any questions, let me know. Last year, we sold 35 houses. 20 of them came from our neighborhood from doing just this. We did $7.5 million in production by using this specific piece of information. And then just asking people, hey, do you want it? It's free. What's the catch? There is no catch. So we don't have to use you. I mean, I'd love to be your real estate agent. And I think once you see my presentation, you're going to see that I'm a professional. This is my full-time gig. That's nothing slighting people who are part-time agents. I was a part-time agent for 2 years. I still busted my ass, but they're going to see you as the professional that you are. Okay. So this is how to create that core presentation. All right. Now I'm going to have so many tabs open that it's super hard. Okay. All right. So the next thing is how to create campaigns. But before I get to that, I want to show you one more thing that you may or may not already be using. When you go into your dashboard, you probably have quite a few people that are already signed up into your CMA. They're people who are actually using your website. Now, lots of people use different ways to search homes, but we lose out on a lot of buyers because we drop the ball because we have so much other stuff going on. I don't have time to spend, to send 20 different emails of, hey, these are houses that fit your needs for my buyers. So what I do is I create alerts. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one contact. Now I know this lead. Okay. She's one of my best friends and she's looking for a house for her dad. I know exactly what she's looking for. So I can go into where it says alerts and click on that. Right now, there is one active alert for her. It's single families, 2 bedrooms. This is her price range, and she's going to get these daily. Now, one of the things that I know is that her dad wants a 55 plus community. So he wants an age restricted. So I'm going to go ahead and create a second alert. I'm going to put in the neighborhood or the city because I know where they're looking. I'm going to do single families. I'm going to add a keyword, and my keyword is adult. As far as, here it is, active 55. Sorry, I'm going to take this one out. All right. I don't want this to go once a week because guess what? He's already sold his house. They need to find a house right now. So I'm going to do it as soon as possible. So what that means is the difference between as soon as possible and daily is we know that our MLS system updates every 15 minutes, right? That's the way that it updates, or that's the way it does here. And so if there's something that goes live, say at 8 a.m. and something that goes live at 10 a.m., if she's getting that email one time, she's going to miss out on one of those properties. So I want to make sure that as soon as something hits the market, she goes ahead and sees it. I'm going to go ahead and put in that this has to be at least a 2 bedroom and the max is going to be 400.
Hey, Jackie, is that the difference between alerts and the auto emails, is that you're going to get these alerts more rapidly than the auto email feature?
Yes. Yes. So when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and set the alert. So when I look over here, now I see that she's getting 2 alerts. She's getting this one that's single family homes. So these are not specifically 55 plus communities. These are the ones that she saw today. So if I actually, maybe they're vacant homes and I went ahead and checked them out for her because I had enough time today, then I could be like, hey, that house that was on 76th Place over there in Mesa, yeah, it was vacant. I went over there and looked at it. I think it would really work. So that way I can be more active. I know what she's looking at. And if she calls me and says, hey, can you look up this price that you emailed me? And I go, what one I emailed you? Don't say that. Look at the alert because it's usually on there. Now, the second alert, there's 2 houses right now that are active. So she just got this email saying, hey, look at these 2. Now I can click on them and it's going to show me everything that she sees. So it's going to tell me what it's priced at, if it's still active, are there any open houses coming? What is my revenue? I don't look at that because I'm not doing this just to get paid. I mean, yes, it's nice to get paid, but any kind of broker activity, it is in a golf course community, the days that it's been on the market, it tells me everything, okay? And this is going to pull any listing in MLS, not just EXP listings, okay? So your squeeze pages, we are only allowed to promote our own brokerage on those squeeze pages. But as far as giving listings, it's going to do anything that's in the MLS. So that's how you do those alerts. Now, if I go back, then I can see all of the listings. Okay. So that's how you create an alert, and just make sure that you say set the alert. All right. So last thing is campaigns. Now, a campaign and an alert are different. An alert is how you stay in front of your client by showing them homes based on what they want to purchase. A campaign is a way to take someone who came into your open house that wasn't so sure that they even wanted to work with you and create them as a prospect, and then as a client, and then as a closed transaction. Campaigns can get tricky, I'm not gonna lie, but let me show you a little bit. So to get into campaigns, you're gonna go to marketing, then you're gonna go to smart campaigns. It's gonna have a few in your library, like yours. I think most of us probably have express offers, just because that one was created for us and sent to us. But you can create your own campaign. Now, to create your own campaign from scratch, you're gonna go to templates. When you go to templates, there's gonna be some on here, okay, that you can clone and use. I like to make my own, okay? I don't wanna edit someone else's stuff. I wanna include my own. I also have the option to have it where the touch that it's going to be with this client is either an email, a text, a call. Maybe it's something that I need to do on this certain day. Okay, so there's lots of different choices. Sorry, I'm out of practice of talking this long. Okay, so how do you start making one? You click add template, and it's going to ask you, is this going to be an email or is it going to be a text? Now I'm going to have you all do a task real quick. Look at your phone if you have your phone handy, unless you're on Zoom with your phone. Who has over 1,000 unread emails? Anybody? Anybody got over 1,000 unread emails?
I do.
All right. Anybody got over 2,000 unread emails?
I have 9,615.
Ooh, you almost beat me. Anybody got over 10,000? Because I do.
Let's see. Maybe in my Gmail.
No, you can't use multiple emails. Come on now. All right. So I was in this kvCORE, or not this kvCORE, this icon class, you know, because we're really lucky, I think, at our brokerage. And I hope that you're utilizing the EXP University. But the icon agents, the ones who have already hit their cap and got all of their cap back. So he did this email, or he did this one, and he was talking about how to stay in front of your clients, like how to make sure, like you're doing all this work creating a campaign, how to do it. And he goes, look at your email. So we all looked at our emails, and he's like, how many unread messages do you have? And we're like, oh, a lot. Why don't you read them? Because it's not important, right? And then he said, now look at your phone and see how many unread text messages you have. And so people open their text. They want to see what it is. Also with email, some people, it'll send it to them, but it goes into their spam. They miss it. They never see it. So basically his moral was, when you're creating a campaign, if it's an email that you're going to send, make sure to send also a text that same day that says, hey, I sent you an email, check your spam and make sure you didn't miss it. Or just make your campaigns all texting. Okay. So let's go ahead and start a campaign, and it's going to be a text. Now it's going to go ahead and put it in mine. So what's the template? What am I going to name this? I'm going to name this text number 1. Whoops. kvCORE class. Okay. Now I'm going to put in, what do I want to send them? Thank you so much for attending the kvCORE class today. It was so nice to meet you. I hope you learned some new things. Okay. Now, you do not have to do coding, but if you understand coding, you're going to put in the agent's name. Okay. The only thing I did was on my computer, I clicked it's like the squiggly. If I want to right here, I can do that again. and I can do the seller's name or the lead's name. So like when I send this out, it's going to say, Angela, thank you so much for attending my kvCORE class today. It was so nice to meet you. I hope you learned new things. Jackie. Now, you have to keep in mind, I go by Jackie, but with kvCORE, it says Mary. Are they going to know who the hell Mary is? No. So you know what? I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to put my name instead. So that way they know who I am. Okay. It's totally up to you. Maybe your mama didn't give you 7 names. My mom did. And so it's very confusing on what my name is. So now I'm going to add that template. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to create another template. So I'm going to go back to my templates, add a template, and I'm going to send an email now. And this is going to be, and I always want to name them. Email number 1, kvCORE class. Now I'm going to give it a subject line. So the subject's going to say, let me know how I can help you. So that I'm going to put on here, I am a teacher by trade. It will never stop. I want to know new ways to help other agents reach their goals. What is an area in kvCORE you want to master? Okay. Then I want to go ahead and code this because I don't want it to come just without anything. So I'm going to put, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it that way. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and include my signature. So that way my signature is on there, just like any email that comes from me. So it's going to have all my qualifications and my picture and everything. And I'm going to add that template. Now, remember, I went to that icon class and that guy told me that anytime I sent an email, I should send a follow-up text that same day. So I'm going to go ahead and make another text. This is going to be follow-up text number 2, kvCORE class. Now I'm going to put my thing in here. I'm going to do their first name. Hey, I just sent you an email. It may have gone to spam, so make sure to check. But basically, I wanted to see what areas of kvCORE you still need help with. When are you available for a call? Question mark. I always want to give a call to action. Okay. So you always want to ask them a question because you want to make sure that they're actually, like, you want to stay in dialogue with them. So then I'm going to go ahead and just put my name on there and I'm going to hit add template. All right. I've got 9 minutes. Holy crap. Okay. Now, so I've created these different actions. Okay. Now I'm actually going to create a an actual campaign. So I need to click on my campaigns and I'm going to click this green button now that says add a campaign. What I'm going to do, you have to tell the system, how do you want this campaign to start? Okay. I always use hashtags. So I'm going to say that this campaign is going to start when there is a hashtag. What is the hashtag? kvCORE class. Okay. Do you want it to always run? Yes. Do I want it to be locked? Yes or no? Now, I don't ever lock my campaigns. And the reason why is because, so we, like I've said, we have a standard team, my husband and I. And so I don't want to lock anything because I always share stuff with them. Now, if you are possibly on a team and you created something and I don't know, you forgot the memo of EXP that we collaborate and you don't want to share it with anybody, then you want to lock it. All right. So then you're going to hit next. Who is this designed for? Is this designed for a buyer? No, you all are all agents. So I'm going to click an agent. Then I'm going to hit next. What is the campaign name? Now I'm going to name this. And this is going to be kvCORE class students. And then I'm going to give it a description. This campaign is for students who have attended one of my kvCORE classes. No one sees that. That's just for me. Is it always going to run? Yes. Is it locked? No. I don't know why it asked me that second time. All right. So this is going to tell me this is my new campaign. I made it. It's for agents. This is the hashtag. It's designed for agents. This is the campaign name. It's always going to run. So now I'm going to say finish. Okay. So now I go back in here and guess what? My new thing is right here. So I'm going to click it and there's no actions. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add an action and this is going to be a text. And I'm going to look for my templates. This is why I always want to name them something specific so that way they're easier to find. This was about kvCORE. This was that first text. I can view the template just to make sure I got the right one. Oh yeah, this is. Thank you for attending. Okay, it's gonna run to the agent from me. Do I want it to run immediately? Yes, as soon as I add them with that hashtag, I want it to go ahead and start. So I'm going to put first text, whoops. And then I'm gonna add it. So this is gonna run immediately. Now I'm gonna add another action. This was gonna be that email. kvCORE class email. I wanna view the template. I'm a teacher by trade, it will never stop. I wanna know new ways to help other agents reach their goals. What is an area in kvCORE that you wanna master? Do I want it to run immediately? No, because I don't want them to get everything on the same day. I want this to go out on day 2. So they get their text from me. Oh, love ya. Thank you so much for coming. So I'm going to click day. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to click, this is going to start on day 2. And then I'm going to click add. Oh, I have to give it a name. Sorry. So now you see that this says immediate. So immediately when I enter you all into my CRM and I use that hashtag that says kvCORE class, you all are all immediately going to get a text from me. And it'll say, thank you so much for coming. On day 2, you're going to get an email from me. But remember, I don't want to just send an email. I want to send a text also. So I'm going to go ahead and find my kvCORE follow-up. And this is going to say follow-up. I do not want it to run immediately, so I'm not going to check it. I'm going to have this go out on day 2 as well, because they're going to get the email and I want to make sure that they see what it is. So now I'm going to hit add. So right now I have 3 touches that I'm going to make to you all, essentially. Okay. So if you're doing this for an open house, your immediate text is going to be, thank you so much for coming to my open house. Is this a good, I want to, help you in this process, or, what did you think about the house? Ask them a question so that way they text you back. Now, when it texts to your smart number. So if you do not have kvCORE put on your phone on the app, you need to do that. Okay, so add that on there, because what it's going to do is when you log in and you go into kvCORE on your phone, it's going to have an inbox. I don't know if you all can see that, maybe. And every text message that comes to your kvCORE smart number comes in here. Okay, so how do I actually get this to start? So I'm going to click this button that says, I want this campaign to be active, and it's going to ask me, you're getting ready to make it. Are you sure you want to? Yes. Okay. Now I can clone this campaign if I want to, and then add a different hashtag. I can share the campaign. So that's the nice thing. So if I hit share campaign, it says, you're getting ready to share it. You want to do that? And I'm going to say, yeah, I want to share it. Okay. So now it is shared. Down here, it says a sharing token. It's almost like you went somewhere. Okay. So I click on that, it copies it. I'm going to go to the chat right now. I'm going to share this token code with everybody. Okay. So what do you do with that token code? How do you use it? You're going to go back to your campaigns, because lots of people share their campaigns that they build. And as long as they're generic enough where you don't have to change anything, then it's totally fine. See the little paper on paper button? You click on that and it says, enter the token code. You copy it in there and it says, hey, you're getting ready to get a new one. You sure you want this? And it also says it could take 15 minutes. You hit yes. And it says the cloning process has begun. I'm going to get an email immediately that says, so-and-so cloned your campaign, or they, they put it on theirs. That's fine. And then you're going to get an email that says, hey, that campaign you just cloned is going to show up now. So a lot of times, and what I would like to see on that kvCORE discussion is people sharing campaigns that they make, just because it takes a lot of work. We're supposed to be spending how many hours a day prospecting? This takes time. And, it's hard to do.
Jackie?
So, yes.
I have a question. Is there a place where we can get pre-made templates like that? Is there like a database that we can draw from?
Yes. So if you go into templates, you'll see that there's lots of different things. So this is a campaign or one that you could send out like after someone closes. So you could send that out. This is a 12-month post-close email. You can actually take these and add these into a campaign if you want to. If you're asking for referrals, so there's lots of information in here that they have already created. I just like to make my own because I don't have time to go through all of this long line. It's going to take more of my time. But yes, there is stuff that is pre-made, like templates that you can take to create the campaign. So the campaigns aren't created, but the templates are created so you can use them to create the campaign, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you just take that and run with it and kind of adjust it a little bit. Okay, I got you.
Yes.
So they can give you the idea, so you can create your own.
I like to create my own just because going through all of these, and then like, let's say they use words that are not words that I would say, like if it doesn't sound just a little bit redneck, people are going to know, hey, that's not Jackie. She did not send that. And so like, I like to use words like y'all in mine. I like to put a little smiley face after my name, just because that's part of my personality. Like you have to find a way to kind of stand out to other people. So I know this was super fast. I'm really short on time, but I want to go back here. And let's see.
If I hit you up on a workplace with my email address, because I wasn't on the email, can you send me a copy of the presentation?
Yes. So I'm going to try to add the entire video on Workplace. I think it'll let me. I don't think it'll put it out there. So this is me.
You got a YouTube channel? You could put it on your YouTube channel.
I do not have a YouTube channel yet. That's on the list of things to do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually adding that. But anyhow, so I also do one-on-one kvCORE help. Obviously, it's not free because it's an hour that I'm taking away from prospecting and production, but this is the link for it. I use Calendly. So you pick a time that works best for you, and then we get on Zoom. You can actually give me your kvCORE and I can kind of help you alongside. Or we just have it where you're sharing your screen and I'm telling you where to hunt and peck. So that's the link for that if you would ever want it. I hope all of you tagged me or, friended me to follow, or however the kids say it nowadays, on Instagram, because that's where I put all of my information. If you missed it, it's at Jackie Durbin AZ. So like the short abbreviation for Arizona. If you'll do me a favor, I would love to get a review. So if you think I did a good job, let me know. If you think I sucked and there's something that I need to change up, let me know that also. I am not opposed to constructive criticism at all. So you'll notice it says Ish. My bestie, my real estate agent, best friend from Chicago, her and I got Ish tattooed on our hands because we're like, you know what? Are you good at something? Ish. And so it's like being relative. So these are my 2 social media handles, and that's the form. If you wouldn't mind, that would be great. If you've got too much stuff going on, I totally get it because we are all professionals. If you liked this, if you got some value, I know I went really fast, so I apologize. I tried to answer questions as I was going on. But if you
awesome.
More,
you were awesome.
Oh, thank you.
What do you charge for that?
We love you.
So, okay. So I'll have that, but I am going to do a 3-day boot camp workshop. And a reason why I call it a workshop is it's going to actually be application, because if you're like me, you go to a great training, you get lots of stuff, you leave, you're all pumped up in the car, and then you get home and you're like, crap, nobody did the laundry. Like nobody did the dishes. What? Now I have to make dinner. And you get all this information and then you don't get to apply it. And so what I want to do is have it where it's a, hey, this is how we do this. Now do it. I'm going to be right here with you. And if you have questions, then I can help you out. So it's a 3-day event. It's actually on March. Hang on. Let me pull up the date so that way I don't say the wrong date. It is on March 9th, 10th, and 11th. So day 1, it's an hour and a half. It starts at 10 a.m. Arizona time, which is 11 a.m. Central and 12 Eastern, because I need to make sure I put that in there. It's going to be an hour and a half. We're going to do seller squeeze pages, multi-home lists, single homes, market reports, and then also alerts. Day 2 is an hour. That's from 10 to 11. We're going to do core present. I'm also going to talk about the difference between sending a mass email and text and actually scheduling them. Excuse me, because there is a difference. And then also on day 3, we're going to talk about retention. So how do you keep those clients that you've closed that loved you in your, like, you want them to stay like in your rearview mirror, and you want them to stay in theirs. So how do you do that? So there's ways to stay in front of your clients through kvCORE. It's automated. You don't have to do anything. You just put in the information and it does it straight for you. There's also custom campaigns that you can make for them. I'm going to be cloning, I'm going to be making generic ones for, say, a seller. Okay. So you had a listing, you helped them list their home, and now you want their friends who want to list their home. So it's going to be a campaign that's straight up for sellers that have already listed with you and now you've helped them. I'm also building a campaign for buyers, people who are actively buying, because right now it's hard. Okay, so we had, I had a VA buyer. I love working with veterans. My father was a veteran and my father-in-law was a veteran, but it's very hard right now for a veteran to get approved because people don't understand what a VA loan is. And 9 times out of 10, they don't have a whole lot of capital to put down. And so they can write a lot of offers and they can get a lot of no's. And so what I want to do is make sure that I'm creating a, basically a positive. I want to give them words of encouragement. Like, you know what? I know today's going to be the day, you know, just like little words of encouragement, like I would for my kids. So I'm going to be doing those. And then also when you have helped the seller and they've closed, I'm creating a campaign for closed sellers. So you want to send them something like, you know, the week after they closed, and you can make the hashtag closed. So anytime someone closes, you just write their hashtag now is closed, and it'll immediately start that campaign. And it'll be things like, you know what, thank you so much. It was so wonderful walking you through this process. Maybe in like a week you say, hey, you know what, I'd love to, you know, show my gratitude for you and bring you a coffee on me. What would you like? And then you bring them a coffee. I don't send business cards or ask for business from myself, like people that I help buy a home, except one time. And that's 3 months after they have gotten into their house. The reason why I wait for 3 months is if I send it the day after or even a month, they still have boxes in their house. They're not unpacked. So helping me find business is not their top priority. Most people, if they're OCD enough, by 3 months, they've probably got their life, like their kitchen is together. They have their spices in the spice rack. And so that'll be something else. So on that day 3, that retention, I'm going to show you how to create those campaigns, but then I'm also going to already have them created. So that way I can share them with you, just like I did this one. So that one, it's $75. It's 4 hours of training for 3 different days. You're going to have lots and lots of nuggets given to you, and then lots and lots of training. And again, the link for it is in my bio on my Instagram. Yay! So I did cut the attendance, I guess I should say, off at 25 people, just because if I have a lot of people and a lot of people need help, I can't help everybody at one time. And so what I don't want to do is have more people than what I was used to student-wise in the classroom. So I was used to having 25 4th graders, so I can do 25 adults. But that is all.
Hey, thanks
so
much.
No problem. Great. I did see a couple things in the chat, so I just want to see if there was any specific questions that I need to ask. Let's see. Oh, people telling people to mute. How do you enter the source? Okay, so the source, I'm assuming that's like from Squeeze Pages. You don't have to put anything in there. A lot of people do Google paid per click ads. We actually do that for lead gen on our team. And so like if I put it on Google or if I put it on Craigslist, you can go ahead and do that. I usually leave that source blank. Did you use the short link? You can, you don't have to, because remember, no one's going to see that link. I just use it because it's easier. Can you choose the time for the emails to go out? Yes, you can determine what hour. So you can do it by days, hours, or minutes. Thank you, Victoria. Yes, the recording's going to be available. I'm going to stop that in just a minute, and then I'm going to email the link to that to everyone. And then I'll also see if I can put it on Workplace. Where can I find the recording? Yep, that's where it's going to be. Jackie had, let's see. All right. Can you schedule a touch on a specific? Yes. 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 That's what we're going to talk about, Tim. Birthdays. Those are ways that you can stay in front of your clients. Yep. All right. Oh, Terry, you're from Kentucky. Where? Terry's still on here. Or did she leave? Or he leave? I don't even know if it's a girl or a boy, because that's a Lexington. You're a Cats fan. Yes, so am I. I'm from Louisville. I married a Louisville fan. Actually, I married 2 of them. I divorced one, and then I decided to keep the second one. He's not as bad.
I have my shirt on.
Do you? Oh, I didn't wear my Kentucky shirt. I've got my shirt that says, first I drink coffee, then I do stuff.
I'm hideous today, so I didn't want to show
you're beautiful. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're beautiful.
Oh, well, I came in late. I'm like, okay, Arizona time. I'm in Florida now. I'm trying to figure out the time frame. I'm like, oh, I missed you. I'm like, where's the recording?
No. I'm going to have the recording. And I may actually take the idea that someone gave me about doing a YouTube and actually put it on, because I think every Google account has a YouTube channel. And then I can just send that link. I'll make it where it's an unsearchable, and it's only the people who have the link can actually use it. I think if I can't figure it out, I have 3 teenagers who can help me.
Good. So I just found your link. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to overtalk, but
it's easy. Awesome.
I just found your link on Workforce and just hopped on. So I didn't sign up. Nice. So what do I need to do?
No, you didn't have to sign up. There was no sign up sheet. All are welcome.
Good, because I am so lost on kvCORE. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's a large majority of it. And I'll tell you this, you can't break it. Like, you seriously cannot break kvCORE. And so, click on stuff. I mean, obviously, like, if you have not, I will tell you this, if you do not have yourself put in your CRM, do that. Now, if you create a campaign and you put your phone number in, it's not going to do it. And this is why, because your phone number is associated with that smart number on your kvCORE. So you need to put your husband or your wife or your sister or whoever it is, your neighbor, I don't know, your baby daddy, whatever. You need to put them on there who's someone who is not associated with EXP to see how it goes. Because that was one of the things, the first time I did, I was like, it's not working. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. And I got on like I don't even know. I found some guy on YouTube and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call him. And sure enough, he answered his phone and I said, I have a question. He goes, yeah. I said, first of all, my name's Jackie. He goes, well, nice to meet you. And I said, why is this not working? He goes, what do you mean? I said, I did this amazing campaign and none of the stuff's working. And he goes, are you at the EXP? I said, yeah. He goes, do you have a burner phone? I'm like, what do I look like? James Bond? No, I don't have a burner phone. He goes, well, what about your husband? I said, no, my husband's with EXP. He goes, do you have a kid? I was like, yeah, I got 4 of them. Like, are you the Census Bureau? Like, what's going on? And so I set up my daughter as the contact information. And sure enough, it was going through. So if you're testing your campaigns or even like your call captures, if you've done that, if you have an EXP number, it's not going to go through. So it's kind of hard to check it.
What do you think about purchasing the smart number?
Say it again.
The smart number. Do you recommend it?
No, do not buy your own smart number. You do not need one. So basically, like in different, oh, no problem. So in basic, oh, somebody's, hang on. All right. So each area, I guess, because like we're like a huge brokerage, different, what's the word? Different brokerage numbers, you know, like on your MLS or whatever, it has like what your office is basically what I'm saying. So anyone who's associated with your office has the same smart number. However, kvCORE can distinguish between things that need to go to you and things that need to go to them. Okay. So it's smart and I don't understand it, but whatever, I don't have to understand it. It makes sense. So on your front page of your, let me pull this up. So on your actual, oh my gosh, thing, go away. Why is this thing up here? Okay, here we go. So on this, it will, sorry guys, I have too many tabs open and now I can't see what I'm looking at. Somebody is mad typing, I hear you.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I was like, dang, he is giving somebody, don't you?
I was signing up for your class, your workshop.
Oh, good job. Okay, so let's look at this. So when you go, okay, sorry guys, I have way so much stuff. Okay, so when you go in here, if you click on your name, it has your smart number. So if I click on that, it tells me that it's copied. Now you can actually buy a smart number. I know some people who have, I don't know why. Why would you want to do that? Like, why do you got to be extra? You're actually
Jackie,
assigned
can I say something about the smart numbers? I was told that the smart number that's associated with the office, when leads come in, they do a round robin. It doesn't necessarily go directly to you. So if it comes off some kind of a search, it will not go directly to you. And so that's why I bought my own smart number.
Now, I could see that if like, you know, buyer Bob got on EXP's website and said, hey, I want to find an agent.
Right.
But if someone's in my CRM, they're mine. Nobody else gets on.
Okay. All right.
Because like, and even on our team, we tell our agents, look, you don't have to, because like, so we're able to, like when you go to like a lead or whatever, it'll say, who is this assigned to? If you're not on a team or a team leader, it doesn't give you the option to assign those leads to different people. And so like, even with that, we don't even have like another smart number. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Okay.